And we're very excited about this particular webinar, mainly because, you know, we do a lot of webinars, and in the past webinars, we focus on specific things. Maybe it's proposals and, you know, best practices for certain things. But this particular webinar focuses on sort of the whole process and kind of brings together all these best practices that we've learned over the years. And if you've been to one of our webinars before, we follow a pretty standard agenda. This is it. We give you a little bit of background on the topic. We have some poll questions. We dive into the topic itself. Then we do a demo and show you how it works. We will be taking questions at the end, and there will be a survey at the end. As I do the demo, I'm going to share a lot of different screens, and I want you all to know that at the back end of these slides, I have screenshots of what I'm going to show you in the demo. So you have these as references, and you'll get these screenshots at the end. Okay, so really, let's go into the topic background. And as you know, one of the things that we always do when we do these webinars is we try to follow the what, who, you know, what is it, who is it for, why is it important to you, and how it works, and then we show it to you, and we're going to follow that format again here on this topic. You know, TopBuilder's been around for 17 years, and we've met with many, many, many different contractors over these 17 years. And this could be through a demo, this could be through a webinar, this could be through education or speaking, it could be a trade show, we could be meeting with a partner. And what we do when we implement a customer or we meet with a customer to understand their needs is we work through their processes with them. You know, where are your pain points? What does your process look like? How can we help? And what we've learned by doing this for so many years is we're finding, you know, these processes are solid. They're great processes. Many of these businesses have been in business for a long, long time, you know, over 30 years, and their process works. They're successful, they've grown, and the process works. But what they're not doing is they're not implementing the latest tools and techniques that are available to them to make those processes more efficient and more effective. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to share with you a process of a commercial electrical contractor. We're going to walk through the process, and when I say process, the bidding process, and we're going to look at how we help them by not changing that process and now without disrupting what they're already doing really, really well because it's working, but we're just trying to make those processes more effective and more efficient. And you'll see down here below, second bullet from the bottom, we do not want to disrupt what's working. We want to keep in place what's working. We just want to make it better. And candidly, this is going to be 30 minutes or so, but you know, to really, really do a deep dive on this topic, it's a couple-day seminar. We're going to touch on the high points. I'm going to talk very fast, but you'll get a recording and you can slow it down. And I'm sure you're probably able to keep up anyway. So let's go ahead and dive into the poll questions. These are really quickly, and the purpose of these poll questions is not to be annoying, but to kind of give me a little bit of background on your company and how you manage your bids, so that when I tell stories during the demo, I can put it in your context, okay? So really quickly, let me fire up poll question number 1, and we're using GoToMeeting, and it is still the same, so I'm gonna go ahead and launch that poll question. Go ahead, this is multiple choice question. How do you currently identify your bid opportunities? How do you find your business opportunities? And we'll just go ahead and fill that out really quickly. We'll give it a couple seconds, not too long. Again, you can select more than one option. And let's see here. We have 50% of you have voted. I know we have a lot of people on, but I'll give it a couple minutes, a couple seconds. Okay, let me go ahead and close the poll question. and I'll give you the results really quickly. 83% of you get your bid opportunities or your bid invitations through direct interaction with the customer. 100% of you that answered at least use a service like Building Connected or Construct Connect or something like that. 50% of you get your bid invitations through networking events, and 17% through trade shows. Those are really cool numbers. Okay, thank you everybody for that. Okay, the next one is a single answer, and what we're looking at here is how do you capture and manage bid opportunities today. That may change, but hopefully this will give us some good information. Please select one option, and I'm going to make this one pretty quick. Okay. I'm going to stop it now for the sake of time. And what we've got here is 38% of you capture your leads through emails, phone calls, and directly from the customer. 50% through emails from Building Connected or Plan Hub or Construct Connect, something like that, or Procore. 13% of you have a direct integration to Building Connected, Construct Connect, Procore, Plan Hub, you name it. Those are great numbers. So thank you everybody for participating in that. Okay. Now here's the why. We talked about what it is and a little bit of the background, and here's the why. Working with so many contractors over the years, I mean, candidly, this list is going to be very long. But kind of touching on the high points here is the biggest benefit of implementing these techniques is to reduce the time involved in managing this entire process. If you look at a typical contractor from the time they learn about a bid opportunity all the way to the end, where they're actually reporting results back to management, a lot of people are involved. There's a lot of manual effort involved. There's spreadsheets involved. Okay, we all know this. There's whiteboards involved. There's a lot going on there. And to be able to streamline all of that, even at the very beginning of the process, dramatically reduces the time and expense managing the bidding process. And I'm going to show you how they do that. Duplicate data entry is a big deal. Most of our customers are using job cost accounting platforms like Spectrum, Sage, Acumatica, and they're having to double key things in. They get the job, they have to turn around and enter it in their job cost accounting platform. Then they have project management like Autodesk or Procore or the Trimble products, and they enter it in there. Excel, emails, Outlook, you name it. Data has to get into the bidding platform to be able to produce a bid, produce an estimate, and follow up on it. So time is massive when it comes to these two things. Preparing and tracking proposals and collecting electronic signatures, again, another huge time saving. But going down to number 4 here, one of the biggest things that we see when we start working with the customer is, and no offense, but they produce their proposals from Excel. And candidly, they look like they come from Excel, and there's typos in them and so on and so forth. These folks are really, really good at what they do. Electrical contractor, plumbing, you name, roofing, you name it. But, they're not writers, and there's a reason for that. But what we're trying to do here is help produce professional proposals, but doing it in a very clean, very efficient, and a very impressive way so that your conversion rates go up. One of the things that we help them do sort of on the tail end of these processes is find hidden revenue opportunities and hidden bidding opportunities in the data. It could be a certain geography, a certain job type. It could be public sector. It could be the private sector. You name it. There's hidden bidding opportunities that they're not going after, but they don't know that until they see it on a dashboard or a chart or something. And then once they find these opportunities, they increase their revenues almost immediately by going after those opportunities. Okay, and then increasing profits and minimizing losses. There's a lots of techniques that we use to pull in the financial performance of reporting of these jobs out of their accounting systems. And we're finding, you know, maybe it's a particular job type or a particular industry, or maybe even a particular estimator, and they're losing money at certain cost categories or even down to the cost code level repeatedly. And we want to find those and fix those things so that you don't do those things again. Okay, so I'm going to move along a little bit quicker here because I don't want to run out of time for you all. So this is a summary of the strategies that we work with our customers to implement. We're looking at a typical, let's just say, commercial electrical contractor, mid-market electrical contractor, and this is the process. I mean, this is not every step, but these are the high-level processes from beginning to end. I'm going to walk you through this, and then I'm going to show it to you as I go through it. So real quickly, obviously at the very beginning, what happens is they have to be able to capture the bids and capture them electronically and then organize them by job. So what happens here is, if we dive into Top Builder really quickly, I will show you that the bid invitations will come in directly into your CRM or your bid management software. And this will be coming in directly from, it could be Building Connected, it could be Construct Connected, whatever that may be. It could be an email, but capturing these things electronically, okay? And then the most important thing is going ahead and you might create some sort of filtering criteria or scoring criteria for the bids that are coming in. And then what happens is you make sure the team gets the alerts and the calendar appointments so that everybody's on the same page when a bid opportunity comes into the CRM or comes into the bidding software. And I have, I'm going to open up my Outlook and I'm going to show you a couple of these things. Because I created some for myself, but I'll go ahead while I'm waiting for Outlook to open. I'll just show you a couple screenshots of this. So these alerts, if you can see here on my screenshots, when a bid opportunity comes into Top Builder or your bidding software, you're going to receive an email alert. It says, okay, look, you've been assigned to a new job, or a new bid opportunity has come into your software. Here's an alert. That alert will contain a link, and the link will take you directly into that bid opportunity so that you can go find the details about, you know, who's the customer, what's the job type, what are the specifications. But it's really important to keep everybody organized and then on the same page to go ahead and tell everybody, okay, this opportunity exists, go check it out, so that they don't have to key it in. And I'll show you in my Outlook, if I go to my calendar really quickly, you will see that I set up an alert where a lead or a bid opportunity was created, and I was assigned as the primary estimator for this thing, and I click on it, and it takes me right into that bid opportunity right from my Outlook. And it could also be a calendar appointment as well. So this really streamlines the process, okay, from beginning to end, to be able to let everybody know a bid opportunity's been sent to you, and you don't have to manually key it into, some people key into Excel, some people key into Access, and then you email everybody. It's a very cumbersome process. Now, one of the things that's also very important especially for our specialty contractors, is being able to organize all of these bid opportunities under a single job. And we have a customer on the webinar right now who's doing a lot of that. And the way this works is when bid opportunities come in for the same job, maybe from multiple general contractors, let's say, we're able to pull this in, especially if we're working with Building Connected or Procore bid invitations. We'll go ahead and organize all those bids underneath a single job. And then you're tracking who you're bidding to as the GC as individual bids underneath that job. So that's very, very important to stay organized, keep everybody on the same page, so on and so forth. Now, also, what we're going to see is we'll go ahead and throw this on a bid calendar. See if I got that open. Here we go. Here's the bid calendar. And so you can see when all the bids are due and then who is assigned to the bids. Now, we got a yellow one here. Okay, nobody's assigned to this one. We would go ahead and assign that to an estimator. I'm going to do that later in the demo. And then all of a sudden that estimator gets an alert. A bid has been assigned to you and it shows up on his or her calendar. Again, keeping everything streamlined, collaboration across the estimators, project managers, sales teams, everybody. Everything is working effectively and efficiently, but candidly, it's still the same process that they followed for years. We're just automating that for that. Okay, going back to the presentation really quickly. My mouse just flipped out on me. Okay, and so one of the things that's also very, very important is when you move a prospect through the sales pipeline, okay, let's just say you take one and we'll grab a lead off of our dashboard here. This is the dashboard. And you move them through the sales cycle and you say, okay, we completed the estimate. Now we're going to submit the bid, okay? And what you're going to see down below is a new set of workflow and a new set of tasks get implemented. You can see that it changed all of a sudden on you there. And this is workflow for the task of bid submitted. So now the new team members that are to follow up on this bid, there may be a task that says we have to follow up on this bid in a couple days. It puts a task on their calendar. They call the customer in a couple days. Did you get my bid? Do you have any questions? Whatever. Really, really helps keep things streamlined and moving forward. And most importantly, you don't miss anything. Okay. Again, it's the same process. It's just a little bit more automated. All right. Now, one of the things that is also very important here is once you actually get the project, you're going to go ahead and integrate this with your job cost accounting platform so that when you move them into like job awarded status to reduce the duplicate entry, this is going to send the job over to your job cost accounting platform, maybe your project management platform like Procore, and create the job in those platforms. And then what we'll do is we'll keep the data in sync with Top Builder so that we know, if you have any changes in the status of the job, you have changes in the start dates and the end dates of the job, financial changes on the job, and also while you're building out the project, let's just say Procore as an example, as you build out the project team, it's going to go ahead and add all of the team members to the project, so you will always know who worked on every project at your company. Okay. Now, one of the things that is really, really important is we're going to go through and help you screen these bid opportunities to try to help you make a go, no-go decision. And we do that in a lot of different ways. First of all, let's say you get a bid opportunity. It's been assigned to somebody to go evaluate the bid opportunity. Let's just say maybe the first thing that you're going to go look at is the customer. And you may say, okay, what is the job history for that customer? How many jobs have we done in the past? How many are outstanding? Are they profitable? How much revenue and how many jobs have we done in the past? if you do work orders, you may look at the work order history. But what's also very, very important is being able to look at maybe the financial status of that particular customer. Are they paying their bills? Are they in good financial standing with you? We've had a lot of customers that said, hey, we bid jobs to people that aren't paying their bills, and guess what? They went out of business, we lost money. That's a rare case, but it just takes a second to go look at what is the financial status of that particular customer. Okay, now another thing that you might want to do is look at your workforce and be able to determine if you're going to have people available to do the work, or what do your activities look like when that job is supposed to start or supposed to end. And so what I've done here is I've launched into Contractor BI, which is our dashboard and analytic platform. And what it's doing in this particular dashboard is it's showing you what is my resource picture look like for all these jobs that I've got, either in the bidding status, which is orange, or backlog, which is a real job, which is green. And if you can see this one right here in the middle where it says multi-use retail and multifamily building, that's the particular one that we're looking at. And we want to see, okay, well, who's available to do the job? Do we have anybody available to do the job? And then what you might also want to do is go look at the revenue picture and what you look like, what it looks like when that job is supposed to start and supposed to end. And after talking to a lot of our customers, I ask a lot of questions about this. I said, why do you care about the revenue when you're taking on a new job? And they say, well, if we're not busy during the period of time when we're supposed to do this job, we may bid this job a little bit differently because we've got to keep our crews busy, or we got to keep our teams busy. Otherwise, we're losing a lot of money because people are sitting on the bench. It doesn't take long to do this, but it's a really good data point for them to go in and say, what does my revenue picture look like when this job is supposed to take place? Now, on the flip side of that, they may say, okay, it looks like we're very busy. And so what they might do is they may bid it a little higher, knowing they may have to hire subs to do the work. Different scenarios. No two construction company is the same, but these are just some examples and some stories I like to tell when I do these demos. Okay. Now, another thing that, and I'm just going to talk through this one. I have a screenshot of it, and let me see if I can just go down to that really quickly. Looking at the financial performance of some of these jobs, let me see, where is that? Okay. Okay, this one right here. So if you look at the financial performance, you get a new job and you want to look at the financial performance of similar jobs. Maybe you're looking at job type, maybe you're looking at specific industries, and maybe you want to get down into the cost category level and the cost type level, and even all the way down to the cost code level to say, hey, look, have we done similar jobs like this in the past? And if so, did we make money? Did we lose money? And if we lost money, where did we lose the money? Was it on labor? Was it on materials? Was it on subcontract? Where was it? And let's not make that mistake again. Or if this is a problem for you for these specific types of jobs, maybe you pass. Maybe you make a no-go decision on it. But again, sharing you stories and examples of what we've done in the past with other customers. Okay. So, all right. Now, once the job has been awarded, we're going to go in here and, like I said, we're going to assign the estimator to the project. And there we go. We've got the estimator on the project. You'll see now it turns white. And then what you'll see up here, this happened right away, is now that I've been assigned to this project, I've got the link to as the estimator. Now, same thing if I want to go in and if I want to go back into the project, I have the ability to go ahead and say, well, who's the building owner on this project? I can set up the building owner on the project so I can track that for future references down the road. Maybe I want to go get service work. Maybe I want to go get follow-up work, or maybe I want to go after the project management company, but then I can also assign the project manager to the project. Okay. Now, again, this can be done in Procore. This can be done in the project management system, and it'll come back and update Top Builder. So you don't have to do it here. But if you already know who it's going to be, you can set it here, and then we'll pass that information over to Procore and the job cost accounting system. Okay, so now we're ready to submit a proposal for that customer. And I'm in Top Builder, and I'm looking at this particular job, and Top Builder integrates with lots of different estimating and takeoff platforms, including Excel. By the way, I'm not going to do a deep dive on the proposal builder because that's a whole hour demo. But what happens when you complete the estimate or the takeoff in your estimating software or in Excel, you can load it directly into our proposal builder, okay? And then Excel will pre-populate the worksheet with the items, the markups, the quantities, and the costs. You can add cover letters, design specifications, exclusions, statement of work. You can add product information, all kinds of different addendums that you can add to the proposal. You can even upload job photos if you have them available. And then you go in and you preview this thing, and you go ahead and it's got the cover letter on it. And then this is the actual quote or the proposal itself. It's got a signature block. Here's the specs. Here's the statement of work, job photos and addendums, and anything you want to load into the proposal is there. And then you can send it directly to the customer. And this is not DocuSign. It looks like DocuSign, but you send it directly to the customer, and it will come back, and I'll show this to you, as a signed, approved proposal. Hopefully it's approved. So let me go back into that lead, and you're able to track this, first of all, which is really, really important. So I can track when it was received, when was it reviewed, when was it opened or accepted, and then, okay, I've got an accepted one here. It comes back into Top Builder once they sign it as a signed and completed document. There's my chicken scratch signature, but the signed and completed document is fantastic. Okay, so now you've gotten the job, and again, we're going to send it over to Procore and the job cost accounting system. All you have to do is change the status. It automatically goes over there, and now the project lives in your project management, job cost accounting application, ERP. And again, we're going to keep it up to date from there. Now, after all of this is said and done, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Contractor BI, and we're going to go in and we're going to say, okay, we've got all these projects and they're in different statuses. We're bidding some projects, we've submitted bids to some projects, we've awarded some projects are new, and we're still qualifying them. But you can quickly go in and see where you stand in terms of what is in my pipeline. And you can definitely go in here and start drilling down and seeing where things stand. Now, if you're an electrical contractor or a roofer that works for multiple GCs for a job, you can also go in and look at this by job. We call it a bid opportunity, but you can see that I've got 43 new bid opportunities sitting in my pipeline. I'm preparing bids for 7 of them, and I've got 2 that I've submitted bids to. And candidly, this could be 10, 20 bids, but it's only for 2 projects. So my funnel shows 2 projects, not 20, which is really, really important. Now, also what you might want to do is look at how these projects, in whatever phase that they're in, I've already showed you this, I'm going to show it to you really quickly again. in a revenue forecast or a sales forecast. And I can't show you all of these because it'll take forever, but there's all kinds of forecasts to see what does my revenue picture look like? What are my sales picture look like? What does my staffing and my labor picture look like when I'm bidding a project or I've actually awarded the project? Again, we're looking at this month over month. Now, some of my contractors do quick jobs and they want to see it weekly. Fine, we do this weekly. And then where do we stand against our KPIs and our goals? Okay, so we can go to the executive dashboard. We've got company-wide KPIs set up. Where do we stand? If we have a monthly goal of $5 million, let's say, how are we looking? Looks like we're doing pretty good in May, but we are falling behind in January, February, and April, and we don't have anything after that. So now we've submitted a bid or the job has been awarded. What does that revenue picture look like? It uses the weighted probability, which to reflect what the revenue will be. If it's in the bidding process, if it's backlog, it's 100%. Okay. Also, we want to go in. How are we trending? What does our bidding activity look like? We're looking at our bidding activity month over month. How many new opportunities are we getting? How many bids are we submitting? How many are awarded? You're looking at this over month and month, and you can see whether you're getting better or worse. And then you can also look at this over the last 5 years, and then a little chart month over month. And then, of course, if you want to look at very specific statuses, let's just pick on 3 here really quickly. I just want to look on those 3. I can just look at those 3, which is really fantastic. All right. Now, last one, and then we'll go on to questions. We've got taking a risk of running a little bit over here. Lots of performance reports at the end of all of this to see what is working and what is not. And when we look at job performance, or we look at most anything, we look at 7 different things. We look at the job type, we look at estimators, we look at divisions or territories, we look at industries, we look at lead sources, we look at job size, and then I think I said division. I'm not sure if I said division or not, but that's certainly one of them. Now, I'm looking at won-loss performance, and I've got that by my sales team. I've got that by industry. I've got that by division. This can reflect whatever you want on a dashboard. And then what I can do is I can show this by sales. I can show it by win rates. I can show it by revenue, and then revenue conversion rates, which is really fantastic. And then I can say, well, wait a minute here. We got a problem. Let's just say this particular person is not doing very well. I can click on that person, and now I can look at everything across the board for that one person. Or let me look at this one because the data is a little bit better. But I'm looking at Dave. How is he doing across different job types? How is he doing across different industries and different divisions? Fantastic. Okay. Very, very good. And then the last thing is I'll show you why am I losing my jobs? Very important. We don't want to make those same mistakes. I'm losing 17% because the GC didn't get it. I'm losing a certain amount because it was underbid. And then I can click on that and then go into the different areas to understand a little bit more detail on, the assigned to, why is that person losing jobs that are being underbid. I'm going to drill down on that particular person there, if that makes sense. So, okay, so that is the quick overview of the process improvements and a demo on how we do it. Let me bounce back to the presentation really quickly, and let's take questions.
Dave, we had a question come in. It says, this is a lot of stuff, but how long does this actually take to implement?
Okay, I love the question. And here's the deal. There's a lot here. And I teach classes on this, and we've done this thousands of times with other contractors. And to implement everything, it could take, 3 months, let's just say. But what we recommend, which is extremely important and also extremely effective, is let's go back and implement one thing at a time. So let me go back to this slide, and let's just say let's start with focusing on capturing bid opportunities. So let's not go in here and get into all the other things right away. Let's just start, do the crawl, walk, run scenario. Let's capture the bids electronically. Let's send out alerts to your teams, connect them to Outlook, connect them to Google, whatever they're connected to. Make sure your leads and your bid opportunities are organized by job. And then you're right there, you're saving a tremendous amount of time and saving a lot of money, and you're doing a better job collaborating by just capturing the bid opportunities electronically, sending out alerts, sending out reminders, and adding everything to your Outlook calendar where people are usually working from anyways. So realistically, to do all of this for a big company, let's just say 3 months. We've done it in a lot less, but I don't want to mislead anybody. To do it right, I would, because you got to get the whole team on board. We got to train everything. 3 months. But if we start slow, we get quick wins, and we can get the first phase done in a couple weeks. Hopefully that makes sense. So Rob, we got any more?
I've got one other one, and the question is regarding AI. What are your thoughts and Top Builder Contractor BI going forward?
Okay, so that's a very common question. It comes up a lot. Certainly, Top Builder is looking at AI, especially as it relates to Contractor BI. And what we're finding by looking at AI is AI is really, really good at predicting things. You have a lot of history, and then it will, a similar scenario, AI can predict the outcome of that scenario with some certainty. What we are doing today is we're looking at that and saying, okay, well, let's start with a common sense approach. And let's take a common sense approach. And we're doing this with an existing contractor today. And the common sense approach is, okay, we have certain job types, certain job sizes, and certain industries. Let's understand, typically, if we submit a bid for that particular job type and job size, and maybe a different specific industry as well, when can we reasonably predict when we'll get a contract? And it's somewhat variable, especially when it's a bigger job. And so we can predict when the contract will come in, and then we can predict sales and revenue based on these common senses approach. And then what we do is we go back and we test that against, some language models and some machine learning and some AI. And I'll tell you right now, at this point, I have to be honest, I think that the common sense approach is really working out pretty well. And then the neat thing about it is kind of we have our own AI, and as our customers get better at bidding projects and converting them to awarded jobs, we continue to get better and we continue to learn. And then the dates between bid submitted and job awarded actually become shorter, if that makes sense. So sorry for the long answer there.
Thank you, Dave. That was the 2 questions that have come in.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and send you guys the recording. In the slides, there's a little bit of background on Top Builder. I looked at the attendee list, and most of you guys are already familiar with us, so I made a conscious effort to skip this for now. But there's a slide in here about Top Builder. Our contact information is in here, so you can reach out to us for a demo or a follow-up. I will send an email. We try to do it the next day, tomorrow, to get the recording out, a link to the presentation, and a link to schedule the demo. And again, there's screenshots and examples of the demo that I did today. I tried to make sure you have all these screenshots so that you can go back to them. It's really hard to do a complete end-to-end demo in 25 minutes or less. So I was already prepared to show you the screens. And then I've also prepared the screenshots for you. So hopefully this will help you. And then the next webinar is going to be focused on Contractor BI. It'll be in 2 weeks, and we hope to see you all then.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay. Yep. So with that said, we'll go ahead and close the webinar.